Good day, learners. Welcome to our day one, identifying objects that can be measured in milligrams. Today, we will learn about milligrams. Milligrams are very tiny units of mass. We use milligrams to measure very light objects, things that are too small to be measured in grams or kilograms. Think about dust, salt, or medicine. They are very light, so we measure them in milligrams. Unlocking difficulties. Mass. How heavy or light an object is. Heavier than when one object has more mass compared to another. Lighter than when one object has less mass compared to another. Have you seen a small tablet or medicine before? Do you think we can weigh it in kilograms? Why or why not? What do you think is lighter? A grain of rice or a mango? If we measure dust, should we use milligrams or kilograms? 1 milligram is very, very light. 1,000 milligrams is equals to 1 gram. When we measure heavy objects like sack of rice, watermelon, bag filled with books, we use kilograms. When we measure medium objects like a bar of chocolate, a slice of bread, a small apple, we use grams. When we measure tiny and light objects like a tablet of medicine, a grain of salt, a drop of perfume, we use milligrams. Always remember, if the object is very heavy, use kilograms. If the object is medium weight, use grams. And if the object is very tiny and light, use milligrams. Let's try this. Tell if the following objects are measured in milligrams, grams, or kilograms. An ant. Sack of rice. Chocolate bar. A medicine tablet. A pencil. A books. Grain of salts. A chair. A coconut. Let's try this. Write T if the statement is true, F if it is false. Let's try this. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Which object is best measured in milligrams? 1 gram is equals to blank milligrams. Which of the following is not measured in milligrams? Which is lighter? A drop of perfume is measured in Always remember milligrams for every light objects, grams for light objects, and kilograms for heavy objects. The smaller the unit, the lighter the object measured. Choose the right unit to measure accurately. Day 2. Measuring and comparing mass using standard units. Mass tells us how heavy or light an object is. We use standard units such as grams and kilograms to measure mass. Today, we will learn how to choose the right unit, compare objects, and relate grams and kilograms. Which one is heavier? Can we measure both using the same unit? When do we use grams? When do we use kilograms? Grams, used for light objects like candies, pencils, slice of bread, and an apple. Kilograms, used for heavy objects like sack of rice, bag of cement, school bag, and a watermelon. Relation of grams and kilograms. 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams. Example, if a mango weighs 500 grams, then 2 mangoes weigh 1,000 grams or 1 kilogram. Let's try this. Convert kilograms to grams or grams to kilograms. Let's try this. Identify if the object is measured in grams or kilograms. Let's try this. Choose the letter of the correct answer. 1 kilogram is equal to how many grams? If a watermelon weighs 3 kilograms, what is its weight in grams? Which of the following is best measured in grams? 5,000 grams is equal to how many kilograms? Which unit is more appropriate to measure the mass of a pencil? Always remember, grams are used to measure light objects like a pencil, apple, or spoon of sugar. Kilograms are used to measure heavy objects like a sack of rice, a chair, or a watermelon. Comparing grams and kilograms helps us understand whether an object is light or heavy. Welcome to our day 3, solving problems involving grams, kilograms, and milligrams. Today, we will learn how to solve problems involving grams, kilograms, and milligrams. Mass tells us how heavy or light an object is. We use standard units of measure to be accurate. 4 children, Anna, Kara, Ben, and Mark are friends. They want to arrange themselves according to their mass from heaviest to lightest. If you would arrange them from heaviest to lightest, how would you do it? What do you think is the best way for us to arrange the children according to their mass? Remember, 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams, and 1 gram is equals to 1,000 milligrams. If a pencil weighs 12 grams, is it heavier or lighter than 1 kilogram of rice? Which do you think is measured in milligrams? A tablet of medicine or a sack of flour? If a watermelon weighs 3 kilograms, how many grams is that? Why is it important to choose the correct unit when measuring objects? Solving problems with milligram, grams, and kilograms helps us compare and choose the correct measurement. Lesson examples and discussion. Conversion. A mango weighs 2 kilograms. How many grams is that? Notice that 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams. We have 2 mangoes. 2 times 1,000 is equals to 2,000 grams. A sack of rice weighs 25 kilograms. How many grams is this? Again, 1 kilogram is equals to 1,000 grams. If the rice weighs 25 kilograms, 25 times 1,000 is equals to 25,000 grams. Word problem with grams. A chocolate bar weighs 250 grams. If Anna buys 2 bars, how heavy are they in grams? 250 times 2 is equals to 500 grams. Using milligrams. A medicine tablet weighs 500 milligrams. How many grams do 2 tablets weigh? 500 times 2 is equals to 1,000 grams. Let's try this. Match the object to the correct unit. Let's try this. Convert kilograms to grams or grams to kilograms. Let's try this. Identify the correct unit. Weight of a car. Weight of an apple. Weight of a fly. Weight of a pinch of salt. Weight of a medicine. Let's try this. Write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. Let's try this. Choose the letter of the correct answer. A sack of rice weighs about. How many grams are there in 2 kilograms? What unit is best to measure a sugar cube? If a tablet weighs 500 milligrams, how many milligrams do 4 tablets weigh? A cat weighs 4 kilograms. How many grams is that? Always remember, we use milligram, gram, and kilogram to measure the mass of objects. Understanding these units helps us solve real life problems and measure correctly. Use milligrams for very light items. Use grams for light objects. And use kilograms for heavy objects. Welcome to our day 4, comparing the capacity of containers directly. Lola's pitcher of juice. It was a hot afternoon. Lola prepared a pitcher of mango juice for her grandchildren. She poured juice into 3 different containers. First, she filled a big glass. The glass was full. Next, she poured into a small cup. The cup was only half full. Finally, she poured into another cup until it spilled. Oh no, it was overflowing. Juan said, Lola, the pitcher can hold more juice than the glass. Anna added, Yes, and the glass can hold less than the pitcher, but more than the cup. Lola smiled. That's right. Each container is different, but they can all be used for drinking juice. What drink did Lola prepare? Which container was full? Which one was half full? What happened when Lola poured too much juice? Which container can hold more, pitcher or glass? Today, we will learn how to compare the capacity of containers directly using words like empty, nothing inside, full, container is filled completely, half full, only half of the container is filled, nearly full, almost full but not yet, full to the brim, completely full, liquid reaches the top. Overflow or spill, when liquid goes out because the container cannot hold it anymore. Let's try this. Look at the pairs of objects. Compare their capacity. Then choose whether the first object holds more, holds less, or holds the same as the second object. Let's try this. Write true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. Let's try this. Choose the letter of the correct answer. What do we call a container with nothing inside? A cup with water up to the middle is. What happens when you pour too much water into a glass? Which container can hold more water? If two bottles are the same size and filled equally, they always remember capacity is how much a container can hold. We compare containers using descriptive words and by checking if one holds more, less, or the same. Knowing this helps us choose the right container in real life situations, like pouring water, juice, or cooking. Thank you for watching. Till our next mathematics lesson. Goodbye.